Hello and welcome to the Season 1 playoffs of the Golden Tee Mobile League. I'm Chad Schrump. Tonight's second semifinal battle features perhaps two of the mobile game's very best. Kinz, Greg Kinsler, and Whammy, Tony Johnson. This Teal Garden course is set to pro setting, allowing for the toughest test Golden Tee Mobile conditions can offer. And we're off to the course Teal Garden, hole number 1. We're playing 18 holes to decide a winner to go to the championship match where they will face Evan Gossett, Meow Chopper. So both players are going to have a stinger into one where we're going to try to get 2 under par on this par 4. Tony will fly this in low. It is going to be a little bit right, and he will have an easy birdie and great shot points to start. And I would not be surprised to see Greg make this shot. He's probably going to hit a 2-iron in and hit it nice and low. Account for that nice flat green. Get that thing in there and see if he can't pound it right into the jar. Here it comes. And he's going to be right. And that's going to be a little bit deep. So no points. He'll use his Ranger, fire that thing right in. Whammy's going to make his putt. We will move on to hole number 2 of Teal Garden. Both players 1 under par. Now we're going to go 18 holes like I said. The tiebreaker is great shot points in case these players are tied after 18 holes. Both, like I said, among the very best in Golden Tee. They both are incredible arcade players. They both qualified for the Arcade Tournament World Championship, and they both are in the Mobile Golden Tee World Championship, so absolutely great players. Greg will fire this thing into this par 4. The line looks gorgeous. One hop, it's going to go a little bit right. I think it's a little short, so no great shot points here. Let's see, Whammy. Tony Johnson out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. That thing bounces in there nicely and about goes in. That's going to be more points. So Tony is now 2 for 2 on great shots after 2 holes. 2 holes have been played. 2 holes have been nailed for great shot points. Both players will be 2 under par going into this 3rd hole on Teal Gardens. This course is pretty tame on a lot of the holes, but there are some absolute nasty monsters as you get going here on the pro setting. Hole number 9, by the way, can be absolutely brutal. You get to the back 9, and again, this is 18 holes. The back 9, the last 3 holes are amongst some of the hardest finishing holes in all of Golden Tee Mobile. Tony takes a really nice shot on this par 4. He's going to bend it around the trees. Greg is going to do the same thing. Takes a nice javelin, cuts some of that wind out of there, throws it to the right side, lets it come in really nice on this green. That might be points. And it is. So 8,100 points for Greg. That's his first time on the board. Whammy has a slight lead on great shot points. They're both going to be 4 under par now after 3 holes. These are eagles coming up. Whammy's got a tiny bit of work, but not much at all. He's going to make the shot. And, of course, Greg will kick in the little baby putt. So a good start for both players. Both are probably a little bit nervous. Not too bad, but this is the first season of the Golden Tee Mobile League playoffs. This is the semifinal match number 2. They are playing for a chance to win the championship and all the prizes and things that come with. Whammy deep with the sniper, and that looked like it should have been points. It was really close. He's probably got 6 or 7 feet. Greg answers with about the same shot, a little bit deeper, 14-footer. That's going to be in. Greg with a gorgeous outfit. I've seen him wear that out and about. Whammy with another birdie putt. And again, we're now 5 under par after 4 holes, moving very quickly through here. Whammy has a slight lead on great shot points, but otherwise these two have played essentially neck and neck and got a whole lot of golf left to play. So this one's a challenging hole under a lot of circumstances, but not right now. It's very tame. It's got the good left tee box, so the players can fire at this island. Greg's going to just smash this down with a sniper, and then he'll have probably a 3-wood or maybe a high loft into this green. And this will be a 3-wood with backspin. Fires it nice and high, 1 hop, and it checks. So a nice kick-in eagle for Greg. Whammy's going to go for points here. See if he can take this a little deeper and try to throw it behind the hole where it stops and comes back just a hair. It's a little too deep for points, but that's a really pretty shot from Tony Johnson. And now Greg Kinsler has made his putt. And again, we are on to the next hole with essentially no damage done. We are just rolling along. Great Golden Tee Mobile play. And we are now firing at this little par 4. Greg's going to throw in a sniper to follow Whammy, I would imagine. Nope, it's going to be a javelin. So Tony throws in a nice sniper. Greg's trying with the javelin. It's going to hop, and it's going to roll towards the hole. And that's just barely out of the range of great shot points. So TJ will kick in a 10-footer, and Greg will make his putt. So again, very quickly, these players are just mauling this front nine, pro setting, high winds. A lot of tees are supposed to be inaccessible, but these have been really gettable so far early in this match. We'll see what the last 9 holes have to play. Tony's firing right at the hole, and he will get great shot points. I thought they had a chance to roll in. What a shot by Tony. His lines are excellent. He used a nice javelin ball, cuts the wind out, lets it roll down, uses the elevation of the green to kind of roll out and kick, and just lets nature do its course, and almost made a nice hole-in-one. Greg's going to try to do the exact same thing. A little bit of wind, 2.5 miles an hour. This thing kicks right. It's a right 3 green. Greg and almost fires it in. Both players all over it right now, and this is why these two are among the very, very best in all of Golden Tee. I think right now you can honestly say Mark Duchesne, Evan Gossett, Tony Johnson, and Greg Kinsler might be the 4 very best players in the world as we speak. Here's the drive on this par 5, and again, this is not set up too badly. So the players will power it around these bamboo sprouts, shoots, plants, whatever the hell they are, trees, and Greg will fire in a Maniac's golf ball and have a nice shot in with a grabber. This is going to kick up here a little bit. It is, if that hits that rough, that thing dies completely, and Greg's looking at a little chip. Now Whammy will go with a sniper, fire it in nice and easy, and he is below the hole for a really easy putt. And these guys are making this look extremely easy. I remember first starting playing, and I would pause these matches and try to say, man, how did this guy hit this shot? What did he do? Rewind it. And now here we go with a tough one. Whammy. He had to have hit the top of that roof, and that, or the tree rather, and that killed it. Greg goes the same shot under, and it almost makes it, I think. I can't tell where that ball went. Whammy will kick this thing up for a birdie. Where is Greg? Where is Greg? Just short, and he'll have a putt with a Ranger. Pours it in. That's an eagle. That is a 1-stroke advantage for Greg. A very big hole. So he will finish the front nine 14 under. Whammy hit a tree, lands it short. He will finish 13 under with more great shot points than Greg, but Greg's got a 1-stroke lead going into the final 9 holes of this playoff match on Teal Garden set in Japan. So again, this is pro setting, tough conditions, but you wouldn't really know it with the way these players are playing. Just incredible players. That's what you would expect out of the gold division of the Golden Tee Mobile League, run by the commissioner, Josh Simmons, who does a lot for this Golden Tee Mobile game. We really appreciate everything he does to elevate the game and try to bring it to a lot of players. So hopefully you're enjoying this broadcast of this game and this match between these two great players. Greg's going to fire in a shot here on this par 5 on Teal 10. Whammy will have a nice shot in from the island as well, a 7-wood with a sniper. Let's see how close he can get. He's dialing these in. Nice shot. So both players will eagle this one. And again, I'll be quite honest. I think what you're probably going to see, and I haven't seen this match, you're going to see these players tear through these next few holes until you get to about hole 16. And things start getting dicey. That's when you get out your Tito's and your Red Bull, you make a drink, and you try to calm yourself down because it's going to get a little bit antsy. So here's a par 3 that both players are going to probably birdie. Just throw the sniper up there and then make your putts and just get out of dodge with another birdie. That's a pin you don't really want to mess with a lot because if you're a little bit too far right, obviously there's water there, and that's going to be a problem. So 1-stroke lead for Greg Kinsler. He is down on great shot points, and as we know, that is the tiebreaker, as we talk about quite frequently. But right now, the points are not coming into play because, again, we do have a 1-stroke lead for Greg over Tony Johnson. So here's a par 5 that sometimes can be really difficult under the pro setting, but this time we have a decent tee box, and Greg's just got to get up. And it does. So Greg's fine there. He hits it just past the edge of the rough and gets into the fairway, so he'll have a really nice look into this green. And again, you'll see the players, and we talk about a lot, they will use the javelin wind cutter all the time. It's just an efficient golf ball. It's going to take a lot of the problems out of the course, and that's the wind. That's the only real natural protectant that this course has is wind. And when you use the javelin, it takes it out of play. And what a shot by Tony. He's going to add another 13,600 points to the great shot point total. So his lead now on great shot points is approaching 35,000. He's somewhere that much higher than Greg at this point. But again, Kinz can get fire easily. He can come on quickly and add a lot of points. But like we've said, he's got a one-stroke lead. TJ puts his putt in, and we are going on to the par 3 13th hole. Guys need to make some things happen. So TJ throws this thing up. It's an up 7 green, and it's going to fall a little bit short. This thing is elevated quite a bit, so you got to make sure you get it up there at least about halfway up that green so it doesn't fall back into the water. Greg will throw the same kind of shot in that Tony just did. These are really easy putts, both really nice shots, nice and safe, and we will go on to the next hole with Greg having still a one-shot lead. These two guys, like we talked about, are in the Golden Tee Mobile World Championship, so they'll get to see each other again most likely down the road. And right now we are still playing the second semifinal of the day. The first one was won by Tony Johnson. Or I'm sorry about that, Evan Gossett. He beat Mark Duchesne, and now Tony Johnson is trying to beat Greg Kinsler. So here we are onto this par 5 here in Teal Gardens. Greg Kinsler will throw this over the bamboo down onto the green, and that is not a good shot. He left that just a little bit short, did not run out like he was hoping, and that leaves a little bit of a chance for Tony. Tony's going to get that on there and roll this thing down, but the line's a little off. He's to the right. That's going to be an easy putt. Greg's going to have a long one here, but it's very makeable, and he cans it. So a little bit of a mistake for Greg. Got a little loose on the shot, a little short, kicked himself right. But when you can putt like Greg putts, and like the rest of these guys putt, quite frankly, it's not really that big of a deal, though. You certainly want to be a lot closer than that. So here we are on to the next par 5, and again, this hole is not really presenting much of a challenge to the players. I don't see where the pin is. That is going to be the only thing that protects this hole. If it's on the left, they're going to fire at this thing like crazy, and it is. So this is just basically a straight shot with a wind cutter, and they're going to pour it right at the flag. It's going to go left a little bit, and Greg is going to be a little short. I expect Tony to point this. I think he'll get close, and I think he's going to see some points here. Takes in a Maniacs a little bit left to right. It's going to bounce left, and it's still going to be short. So we are still Greg Kinsler leading by 1 stroke. This is an 18-hole match on Teal Gardens. We are going to play 18. We have got now to the meat of the golf course. Here we are. Hole 16, and it's a nice look. Let's see how close these guys can get. I expect something to be really close here with both players. Tony pours this thing down. That's in. Tony has tied up this match with a beautiful shot down to this par 3. Javelin golf ball. Look at the line. It never leaves dead center. The speed is perfect and pours it in. Greg needs to answer with something here. Oh my. This line looks good as well. This line looks good as well. It hops in. Oh, they've caused me to see Jesus. 2 hole-in-ones on the par 3 16th hole. Whammy thought he had a 1-stroke advantage back where it was tied. But Greg said, oh, no, sir, we are not doing that. And that was a wonderful answer by Greg. We didn't see the replay, but what a shot by Greg. And now here we're at 17th. Both players go underneath the pagoda and the bell. And both guys have hit just great shots into the 17th hole. We're going to go into 18. Tony's got to make something happen, and Greg just has to make an eagle. And 18 can generally play fairly easy, but sometimes you'll get a crazy win. Sometimes you'll get a hole cut right behind the cutout with the water, and you never know what's going to happen. So Greg just needs to keep this clean, and he's going to walk away with a win. And Tony with a great shot. Whoa! All Greg's got to do here is just answer with an eagle, and he moves on. Throws it up with a javelin. Bounces. Whoa! No! Greg, what are you doing? Greg! Very unbelievable. Totally unexpected. That thing drifts off with the right, and he's going to lose this match. He's going to lose this match. That is a really unexpected shot by Greg. He's going to put in the putt for a par, and Tony Johnson is going to escape here with an eagle. He's going to win by one shot. He escapes, and he's going to move on to the championship match. He will fire a 16 under on this back, a one better. What a round by Tony. Way to stay with it. He's going to play Meow Chop.